Dallas Stars and the Vancouver Canucks tonight. He has been oh so important. He'll need to be again as we start our key as starting goaltender.
Yes, Kari Lehtonen has hit the ice only once since that win in Calgary on Thursday, so he should be fresh for his 12th straight start in net. Hasn't had a ton of success against the Canucks, but he has won the last two. And Roberto Luongo has enjoyed a lot of success when these two teams meet, especially here at Rogers Arena, where he's won 10 of 13.
Jamie Benn has the NHL's fourth highest assist total. He and Tyler Seguin in the NHL's top 10 in scoring, and Val Nichushkin coming off a 2-assist night. That's up front for the Dallas Stars. Robidas and Dillon on the back end. Kessler threw it away. He's playing with Higgins and Jannik Hansen, and a shot from Benn kicked out smartly by Roberto Luongo. Hansen returns to the lineup tonight following a 10-game absence with an upper body injury, and Seguin stole it, gave it to Benn, moving in, charging to the net. He is knocked into the goaltender, Luongo. The net comes askew, and the puck never crosses the line.
Well, and there was some carnage in this, too. The Stars captain just turned the corner on Hamhuis and drove to the net. I think both goaltenders can expect this here tonight. Luongo certainly took the worst of it, stepped in, and it was Hamhuis more than Benn that crashed into the Canuck netminder. Boy, he sets a tone every night, though, doesn't he, Jamie Benn, in every way, shape, and fashion.
He leads all Dallas forwards with 36 hits and 18 blocked shots. Oh, by the way.
Well, you just looked at that game the other night in Calgary. Yeah, the offense and 6 points, obviously. That's the exclamation point. But he ran people over during the game, too.
Literally. Goligoski and Daly. We profiled that pair in our spotlight tonight. Dallas' second line with Ray Whitney still out. Eric Cole joining Cody Eakin and Alex Chiasson, who's still looking to get hot again with the stick. Canucks trying to move the puck out. Edler broke his stick, passing it forward, but Henriksen alone to the net. Save Lehtonen, and he holds it.
It's a little bump from Burrows heading in there, too. Boy, that happened in a hurry. Trevor Daley got caught. They moved the puck quickly. Daley, number 6, along the boards. As it comes up along the boards, he stays wide. They go middle. His partner was up the ice on the other side, and to the rescue comes Kari Lehtonen. How many times has he done this early in games, especially on the road, where there's been a hiccup in their defensive game, but there's no face-off at center ice after because of him?
Henrik Daniel and Burrows back with them here tonight. Rich Peverley digging in.
Burrows hasn't scored a goal yet this year. He's been injured a little bit, and that's been, again, a big issue for the Canucks up front.
Beverly wins the faceoff, a big area of improvement this year for the Dallas Stars. Fiddler kicks it forward just wide of Luongo's goal. He's got to come out and play it. Daniel Sedin, touch feed, and up ahead come the Canucks. Burrows at center ice, tipped it past Gonchar. He's partnered with Jordy Benn. Jordy's back to get the puck. Gonchar lost it. Daniel Sedin around behind for his brother Henrik. Burrows battling to get position in front as the shot comes through and hits Burrows on its way to the corner. Peverley clears. It's Peverley, Horcoff, and Vern Fiddler on the third line for the Dallas Stars. Peverley trying to find the puck. Roussel on with the change, and he's able to bulldoze it in against Stanton. Roussel kicked it, and it's moved out by Daniel Sedin at the end of a shift. He'll toss it in and get the rest of the Canuck change. Dallas Stars have the puck. Their record is 10-7-2. 22 points. They're 5th in the Central. 5 points out of the top 8 in the Western Conference. They are right behind the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan Garbutt out to Robidas shot. Travis Morin shot it wide. Roussel, Garbutt, and Morin, who was called up prior to the trip. He led the American Hockey League in scoring at the time of his recall. Morin trying to shuffle it along to Garbutt, now retrieves it himself against Garrison, who steals it back.
You know, outside of the one mental error and giving up a point-blank chance, the Stars have had a pretty spirited start here.
Good. Canucks are in, and a tip puck. Lehtonen is able to steer aside. Nichushkin trying to haul it up the boards. He fights through Booth's check, but then lost out to Kassian at the Vancouver line. Nichushkin following up. Santorelli caught him, and Hansen will go to the Dallas line with Higgins. Goligoski playing him there, and Daly back to the net, posturing to get the puck, but Hansen turns away from him. Kessler's in front of the net. He dumped it back around behind it. And Goligoski trying to stab it up the boards. Hamhuis reaches for it. Higgins Tapped it back to Hamhuis. Moved it over. Tanev shot blocked. It hits Jamie Benn, but he can't escape with the puck. Daly finally clears it out.
There's Daly folding right underneath, though. That's good gap. Make sure if there's a bobble puck, you got another guy right there. They've been excellent at that on this road trip.
2 passes, and the Stars are in the Vancouver zone as Cole tries to get past Bieksa, who looked guilty despite no call. Cole struggling along the boards, centered it for Chiasson, who pumped it into the corner. Eakin lets it go. Jordy Benn arriving ahead of Burrows. Cody Eakin on his backhand, back of the net with Hamhuis tailing him. To the line for Gonchar, a shot. That's deflected wide. Eric Cole has 1 goal on 25 shots this season, but he's so good along the boards, and he found Chiasson again. Gonchar firing. Tip just wide off Eakin's stick.
That powdered the outside of the post. Powdered it.
Gonchar will race back for the puck. Lively start here in Vancouver. Shots are 3-1 Canucks. As Horcoff takes the line, kicked it out to Fiddler, and a drive is off Luongo's pad. Beverly to Sean Horcoff in the corner. He's engaged. Stanton played it ahead. Henrik to Daniel Sedin. The two of them 1-2 in Canucks scoring. Kessler, as Racer mentioned earlier, leads the team with 9 goals, but now an icing call against the home team.
Sergei Gonchar is not generating a lot of shots on goal. Just 5 shots in the last 7 games. Neither of his first 2 offerings hit the netminder. There's the tip by Cody Eakin on the second one. Man, did that come close. Had Roberto Luongo moving to the original shot coming from the point. No way that he could go back the other direction. Woo! By a whisker.
There's Travis Morin leaning in, 29-year-old Brooklyn Park, Minnesota native, against Henrik Sedin. Sedin ties him up. Garbutt barging after the puck in the corner. Morin looking at Bieksa, who whips it around the boards. Kassian tied up but got it out, and a 2-on-1 for the Canucks. Here comes Henrik Sedin, and he tried to do a fancy little backhand pass that was well off the target.
Wow.
Morin at the other end. Garbutt shooting, save Luongo. And the puck was kicked away from Roussel, who was camped out front. Kassian on the wing. Shot from Henrik, save, rebound. Lettinen gets that one from Kassian.
Well, this line got caught chasing back to their net twice, and twice the deep pair that we billboarded before the game tonight has been caught on odd man rushes coming back, Daly and Goligoski. Why would you do that? Why would you spin around with that one for a team that's struggling to score goals? Good save there by Roberto Luongo, and terrific net drive. But what happens when you don't layer things? You chase back going the other direction, and the Stars gave up 2 in a row to the Canucks. Kassian on the business end.
Santorelli beats Sagan. Hamhuis is shot off the pile and to the corner. Santorelli regathers.
I can tell you on the Stars bench right now, one of the things they'll be harping on is keep a guy high. Third forward.
Tanev from on top shot that wide. Hamhuis again into the pile. Booth for Kassian. He tried to return it to him. And the Canucks keeping the Benn line, or Sagan line rather. I'll call it whatever you want, in the Dallas zone, and they're defending. Centering pass for Santorelli, a backhander and a save from Lettinen. Hamhuis for Santorelli. Gonchar to the young Russian. And here comes Benn and Nichushkin into the Vancouver zone. Big Val pivots out of the corner to Robidas. His shot blocked. Benn sealed off in front, and Kassian puts it ahead to center ice. That's where Robidas took it away, and Nichushkin at the end of a shift is going to get a chance. Backhander to save Luongo.
Sestito and their fourth line turn it over at center ice and offer that one.
Robidas pounding it in. Eakin again with the tip, and once more Roberto Luongo is there for the Canucks. A lot of action at both nets, but no score in Vancouver for the Stars and the Canucks.
Lindy Ruff seemed to discount that blowout nature of the 7-3 win in Calgary by a good percentage too. You know, because of the quality of the Flames team game right now, and he liked what he saw from his crew, but he didn't want to fawn over them all that much. I think he still feels that 3-2 loss in Colorado was the best his team has played this year. Varlamov was spectacular in net. I think he likes some and hates some of what he's seen in the first 6 minutes of this one. Man, you can't give up chances like that off the rush and get away with it all night.
And not to the guys to whom they've given them up.
11 shots in the first 6 minutes of this game. It's been pretty wide open.
Robidas gives Dallas the puck at their own line, and Cody Eakin sailing it in. Cody's got 3 goals in his last 8 games. And important ones, too. There's Alex Chiasson with Santorelli on his back. Garrison waiting for it to come loose, but Chiasson protects the puck. Snapped it out to Dillon at the line. Now for Robidas. Collects it off the boards and spins it deep again. Edler fighting with Chiasson, but works it to his partner, Garrison. And here come the Canucks, who are 4-3-1 at home and 11-7-3 on the season. They have 3 straight losses, scoring just 1 goal in each of those games.
Oh, what a freaky deflection that was. It just about hit Craig Lowry at the end of the Stars bench. On the other bench is John Tortorella, hired by the Canucks after letting Alain Vigneault go, ironically to the New York Rangers, where Tortorella was. The Canucks are a more unfettered and aggressive crew under Tortorella. There's no question about that. 3-man forecheck, pinch their D a lot.
And we'll see Vigneault when we come back to Dallas. Fiddler has to wait now as Peverley proceeded the puck into the zone. Stanton bumps it over. Bieksa up through the middle. Here comes Kessler. Fiddler's on his back, and the Stars tip that puck into the screen.
Give us a chance to remind you, as you enjoy a cold one on this Sunday evening, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lights. And a few amber liquids that have gone down in the last couple of days up here by the broadcast crew, I might add.
Well, most of the broadcast crew.
Yeah, not all. You're right. Some have made up for others, I can tell you that.
Good. I'm glad you guys are keeping up your end.
Switch Goligoski's got a equipment problem, probably a skate. Switch that up. He'll go and get that fixed. So Stars are down to 5D for the moment anyway.
Fiddler and Kessler then to Kari Lettinen's left. Peverley was looking to go. Higgins attacks the net, save Lettinen, and Peverley takes it back of his goal. Hansen tied up in front. Horkoff threw it out off Fiddler to the Vancouver line. Kevin Bieksa snapped it out to Chris Higgins. 3 across as they hit the line. Higgins in, shot it, saved Lettinen, rebound. Peverley had his man Kessler. And the Stars clear it.
Well, you can already see the steady diet of pucks at the net. Kessler lazily comes back out of their own zone or the attacking zone and gets caught on an offside. But, Kari Lettinen's going to work tonight. That's obvious. Pump pucks toward the net. Usually when goaltenders can't see it originally, there's a little traffic in front. It's tough to handle them. Players breaking to the net after that. You mentioned really good coverage by Peverley. This would be a good night to plant the seed with the referees early about goalie interference. Just have the little conversation.
Yes. See if that seed grows. Garbett in the Vancouver zone, lost the puck. Daniel Sedin up ahead to Burrows. Jordy Ben took the man. Burrows reclaims the puck. Henrik falls back of the net. Roussel protecting it against Daniel and allows Morin to escape with Garbett at center ice. Hamuse intercepts and throws it right back over. Morin again. Up off Ryan Garbett. Garbett had a goal the other night. Both of his this season coming on the road. And the Stars have been very good. Their record now is 7-5-0. 5 straight wins away from American Airlines Center. Booth rips it around. Santorelli gets there quickly. Tanev back of the net. Or Kassian, pardon me. Stars hem him in. Booth shot it deep. Robidas back of the net. And Dillon. Local boy crushed in the corner. Santorelli. Sagan blocked. Loose puck. Santorelli finds it again. Twists away from Sagan. Down goes Garrison. Big traffic in front of Kari Lettinen. Edler shot the puck wide of the net. Santorelli keeping it deep in the Dallas zone. Dillon and Kassian arrive again in the corner. And with ill will toward one another, Robidas has the puck. Pass to Nichushkin, but Garrison is challenging him there. Nothing easy. Long pass to Sagan. Kicked it almost to his forehand. and leaves it for Jamie Benn. Back to Seguin, back to the net to Nichushkin, a shot, he scores! Big Val puts the Stars up 1-0.
And Seguin has a word for Edler on the tail end of that. The Canucks have been going out of their way to finish checks on this line, and Seguin in particular. Liberation pass by Dillon up through the middle. Just misses clicking. He takes it in, takes that big hit in behind the net. Puck comes right to him. What a brilliant no-look backhand feed to Nichushkin late in the shift. Bam. 5-hole on a shock. Roberto Luongo, and the Stars open the scoring here again on the road. How good is this? He was the forgotten man the other night in Cowtown. He was pretty good too.
Yeah. It's his second goal of the season. And for Nichushkin, he keeps climbing into the top end of the rookie points. That's his 8th point of the season. Benn and Seguin assist. Chiasson shot it off the side of the net on a neat little setup from Cody Eakin. Kessler drops it to Stanton. Pass across the ice, and Bieksa plows it in. Jordy Benn, Jannik Hansen tying him up. Benn taken down back of the Dallas net. Hansen re-emerging with it. Threw it in front, tapped off to Higgins, and Lehtinen sprawling. Has enough of it now to get the whistle. Midway through the first period, the Stars lead the Canucks in Vancouver 1-0.
Well, Jamie Benn joined an exclusive club in the 20-year history of the Dallas Stars, joining a couple of guys that had 6-point nights back in the mid-90s. Dave Gagne and the great Mike Modano. February of 1995, our AT&T U-verse rewind, when he lit up the then Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. A Bear started in net. Stalenkov finished. 2 goals. 4 helpers in a 9-2 victory for the Dallas Stars on that one. Look at Big Hatcher. Yes, a freebie in tight. Modano finished with 29 points in 30 games that year. That was the labor dispute shortened season back then. So for Ben to jump back in and do what he did the other night, move right alongside the great Mike Modano and Dave Gagne, pretty impressive stuff from the mustachioed one.
It's coming in good. Face off to Kari Lehtinen's left. Fiddler and Kessler again. Fiddler's been stout this season in the face-off circle, about 55%. He wins another one. Daly out to center ice. Horcoff, Peverley, and Fiddler up front for the Stars. And they're onside, I guess. Kessler shot it up high.
I didn't think so.
Nope. Hansen in front. Loose puck, and Daly. Ooh,
you got to be very trusting to put that much on it. Very trusting that your goalie's paddle is down. Yeah, you have the conversation now. I mean, he semi-rifled this backhand into his own netminder. He is a mad scramble. And watch this, boom. Hope you're looking. I guess it was more of a nudge than a rifle.
Conversation nonetheless. So now it's Tyler Seguin, Henrik Sedin. Hamhuis walks away from Nichushkin. We get back to the net, tried to center to Daniel Sedin. Trevor Daly with the coverage.
I think the Stars' defense have been much better at getting their skates sideways along the boards and around the net in order to break up plays like that.
And that's a tripping penalty.
You can't argue it.
No.
You know what he was doing, but it's the letter of the law. Put a stick somewhere where a player will trip up, it's tripping. He has not taken very many penalties this year at all. A little stab in the skates, dangerous too, right along the boards. So that line that was out and in their own zone for much of the shift prior to the Nichushkin goal finally stays late and it gets rewarded for that. Now they get pulled off the ice with Ben taking a minor, and the Stars penalty kill has to get the job done against a struggling Canuck power play.
Yeah, you think the Stars have problems. They're 28th. They've been blanked in 3 of their last 4 games and in 14 of 21 this season against the Dallas penalty killing unit that's pretty good this season. They're statistically ranked mid-pack, but they've been really firm when they've needed to be. Kevin Bieksa holding it at the left point, giving it to Daniel Sedin to Henrik. Kessler's in front of the net. Bieksa and Edler on top. That's Edler shooting it, and Roussel blocks it and puts it into the screen.
Bit of a different look for them to have Edler out here on their number one power play unit. They haven't used the big bazookas on the points in Garrison and Edler. The idea being the Sedins want the puck all the time, and you got guys that just want to shoot the puck back there, and then they get mad at one another. I don't know, a big shot from the point seems to always work. Creates all kinds of havoc in and around the net.
Face off to Kari Lettinen's left. Stars are 6 for 7 on this trip, yielding one in Calgary the other night. Edler passing it off. Henrik down deep. Kessler's in front. That's Daniel back of the net. And a missed pass goes out to center ice. Daniel Sedin right back in. Met Stefan Robidas. Garbett shielding Kessler from the puck. Dillon with a little bit of time and space and down the boards.
It's a smart play. It's where the Stars are good, especially with their penalty killing with that support. I said from day one, it has to be one go, all go, and support one another, and evidence of it there.
There's your little drop play at center ice, and Kessler fires it in deep. Goligoski pitching it to Daly, and he'll use the near boards to creep one all the way past Edler and deep. Midway through Vancouver's first power play of the game, Dallas has a 1-0 lead on Val Nichushkin's second goal of the season from Ben and Seguin. Burrows down the wing. Daly's going to beat Higgins to the puck in the corner. Now they jam up with Santorelli. Pushing it back out off the boards to Hamuse. Took a peek at Garrison and then walks the line. Back to Santorelli. Hamuse firing. Save Lettinen. No rebound with Burrows on his lap.
That all started with a strong play by the impressive Santorelli, who came out of nowhere here, and they win the puck to the point. Earlier, it was trying to win the battle in front of the net. Boy, that is prison rules. Medieval with Kessler. Kessler wins the draw. Little battle and ear cuff on Fiddler right after that. Lots of stick work. The bum buck. Try to find some space, but it was all for naught because they never got any pucks in and around Kari Lettinen.
Off that rugby scrum type face-off draw, the Stars find the puck, and Alex Chiasson sends it deep.
He can actually try to jump, sashayed Higgins on the draw. Jumped right around him.
15 seconds, and the Stars get Ben back. Santorelli toward the boards. He was cut off. Garrison missed the puck. Gonchar over skates, and Jordy Ben will take it. Santorelli looking. He'll use the glass to clear, and that'll do it.
Good kill. He gave up one through some traffic from distance, and that was about it.
7 minutes remaining in the first period. Shots are 9-7 Vancouver. Booth and Brad Richardson both missed the puck. Nichushkin all the way over to Ben. Seguin heading to the front of the net, and Ben trying to find him late. Kassian protecting along the boards deep in the Vancouver zone. He'll start the attack ahead to center ice. Throwing it in deep. Kari Lettinen shielding Brad Richardson from the puck. Ben was stronger on his stick, but the puck rocketed off his skate, and now he's fighting with Kassian for it. Richardson shoved by Brendan Dillon. Ben using the boards to get it to himself and then feathering it out toward the Vancouver line.
Jamie forced himself to have to win 3 puck battles in a row. They kept winning it, giving it back, and winning it again.
He ultimately prevailed. Daniel Sedin shooting it, saved Kari Lettinen, his 10th of the first period. Hey, here you go. The 2014 Dallas Stars Ice Girls calendar is on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Great stocking stuffer. Pick one up for yourself. This calendar lets you spend the entire year with your favorite Dallas Stars Ice Girls. Get yours today at dallasstars.com/calendars.
Pretty good pace to this, for a Stars team that hasn't skated for a couple of days, and that you worry, I think, about first periods more than anything else, but they seem to have their legs.
BX has shot it. Lettinen accepts with his glove.
And whenever they do show a little crack, Kari Lettinen has been spot on so far in this one. Had interesting stats against the Canucks in his career. Just 3 wins and 10 decisions against him. Not a very good save percentage. He got yanked, I remember.
BX got it over, and Stanton missed the net. Jordy Ben took the puck away. Horcoff up, not out. Hansen shot it, deflected wide in front of the net. Beverly didn't see anything going forward, gave it back to Jordy Ben, and now Hansen mauling him behind the Dallas net. Jordy Ben back up on his skates. Gonchar stepping in for the puck. He'll use the glass, and the race ensues. Horkoff has position, so no icing. Got away from Stanton back of the net. He's back up on his skates. Pass misfired. Vancouver will counter. Hansen barging right through. He's got nowhere to go on Goligoski, who took a peek to make sure that was allowed. Beverly out to Eakin at center ice, fighting a bouncing puck. And Kevin Bieksa, Vern Fiddler's old buddy, to the line, not out. Daly shot it, deflected wide.
Boy, Hamhuis just gave that puck up. Turned it right over. The Stars have been very good with body position in this opening period for the most part.
Defenseman Hamhuis leading the attack. Cole stepping in. Richardson. Puck battle in the corner. Cole worked it over to Eakin. They can't get it out. Tanev pulls it to the middle. Shot it. Eakin blocked it. It's still loose in front. Punched wide by Hamhuis.
The defenseman down at the bottom of the circle. Boy, they brought their D a few times here in the opening period.
Cody Eakins without his stick. Hamhuis passing it over to Tanev. Now to Kessler, but he jammed him with the pass. Nobody's in front yet. Now Richardson went there. Tanev from the angle, save Lettinen. Richardson recovering the puck for the Canucks. Chiasson gave his stick to Cody Eakin across the ice, and that one I think hit Higgins in front. Now the stickless Chiasson in no position to clear it. The Canucks keep the heat on.
It's a good spot for that stick, I can tell you that.
Hamhuis, it's moved away by Richardson. Kessler, the crowd is inspiring the Canucks, trying to even it up here late in the first period. Cole gets it, and a nice easy toss to accommodate the change. Under 4 minutes to play in the first period. Kessler deflects it in. Jamie Benn eagerly with Booth on his tail, back of the net. He hops past Brendan Dillon and clears in front of a changing Vancouver bench.
You know, all things considered, the Stars handled that extremely well in their own zone with interchanges, support. Got a bit of a break when that puck hit Higgins right in the skate.
Lettinen played that puck off. Cassian couldn't pull the trigger, and here comes Ben. Nichushkin and Sagan and Dillon are with him. Jamie Benn into the zone, across the ice, and Sagan had to look back for that pass.
I think he had everybody looked off, including Tyler Sagan on that one.
Booth up too far for Garrison at the Dallas line. Ben had that pass blocked. Scrambles to try and cover defensively, and he'll pick it off at his own line. Dallas changing, and so are the Canucks. With just over 3 minutes remaining in the first period. You got to like this if you're a Stars fan.
They were a little loose in neutral ice to open this game. Got caught chasing a few times toward the net, but really good since.
Thanks.
That's the goal. Go back and stare at your buddy on the bench. Really?
How about this one? Really? Val Nichushkin as the Stars up 1-0 late in the first in Vancouver.
Well, winless in 3 for the Canucks, a single goal in each of the 3, and Henrik Sedin was saying we have to find a way to score a goal or more goals. Well, they had the Stars in trouble. Eakin without his stick, threw lots of pucks in and around the net. Again, I just thought I think the Stars throughout this opening period have handled the Canucks with body position well. It's the one that hit Higgins in the skate, and he left immediately after that.
Stanton comes to center ice, shoots it back at the Dallas net. Jordy Ben unloaded it quickly, and they got Garbutt breaking at center. Bieksa busts that up.
That's what you got to do. It's a good play by Bieksa as a defenseman to cut the ice in half and guard the middle more so than the outside.
Puck drifting back into the Vancouver zone. No icing here. Bieksa and Stanton on the back end, and Stanton gave it away to Travis Morin. Morin still fighting with it. Daniel Sedin lurches toward the Dallas zone, popped it across. Robidag lost it. Henrik Sedin across to Daniel, who broke his stick trying to shoot the puck. It's been like that for the Sedins. Henrik has it. Looping it out to Hamhuis. His drive blocked by Morin, who came out. That stung. Morin works it along, goes to the Dallas bench, and Cole burrowing in with Tanev behind the Vancouver net. Cole took it away in front to Eakin, a shot, and I don't think he got it off.
I think the puck was bouncing a little bit late in the period, and an elevated pass from behind the net.
Wonderful play from Cole. Eakin out to Dillon. Behind the line for Alex Chiasson. Drops the shoulder. Turns against Hamhuis. Eakin shoved back of the net by Kessler, who takes over the puck. Eakin chasing him, tying him up along the boards. Chason kept it in, but off a skate to Hamuse. 85 seconds left in the first period. Higgins into the Dallas zone. To Hansen. Dillon will pick him up. On top, sort of, as Higgins' shot is blocked. Fiddler lost it. Higgins comes right back to Fiddler, trying to square the puck away to his forehand, and the Stars take off with it at center ice. Horkoff down the boards. A race for Fiddler, who's trying to get position on Garrison back of the net, and they collide. Garrison with the big hit. Fiddler back up on his skates. Horkoff digging in too. Beverly's on the outskirts. And Garrison hands it to Santorelli. Canucks work it ahead. Edler to center ice. Shoots it around the boards. Booth backhanding it in, and it's off Letton's pad with Kassian there. He covers.
Daly got there just in time to tail like Kassian in front of the net. At the other end on that last shift, the interchange between Cole and Eakin almost clicked. Eric Cole with good hustle. He skated well on this road trip. To get in, pressure things in behind the net, win a puck. They've done that a few times against this Canuck defense. Has paid off once and just jammed Eakin a little bit in front of the net. The only line that hasn't scored on this trip is that line.
About time then. Puck up into the screen, into the first row, and another face-off here.
And they've got good work out of multiple individuals, especially up front. It's not like they've just been a one-line team here on the road. And despite the fact they're being outshot here in the first period, almost by a 2-1 margin, I think they've played well.
Seguin and Santorelli. Canucks win it. Hamuse shot it. Nichushkin came out to challenge. Hops back of the net for Kassian. Booth jockeying for position in front. Kassian tried to twist one his way. Nichushkin had the coverage. Daly pokes it forward, and Nichushkin to Ben at center ice. He had to turn to find it. Punched it down the boards. Hamuse with 10 left in the period. To Booth at center. Daly toward Nichushkin. Tanev with little time and fewer options. And the Stars have to feel pretty good up 1-0 in Vancouver after one.
Well, how about the difference in the period, on the scoreboard anyway? That line was on the ice for over a minute. The Canucks changed, they extended their shift, and got rewarded at the tail end of it. 1:03 in. Wow.
Dallas Stars looking for their 6th straight road win. They're trying the Western Canadian sweep tonight, and they're off to a good start. Val Nichushkin and Kari Lettonen have them up 1-0 in Vancouver. 18-year-old Val Nichushkin has provided the only offense in the first period. Vancouver Razor came in 5th in the league in block shots, but it was Dallas providing the block shot clinic in the first period.
Well, you have to spend some time in your own end in order to get the opportunity to do so, but you know, I remember back in October, Lindy Ruff was harping on them to find shooting lanes, and they needed a GPS to find shooting lanes both offensively and defensively. In that opening period, lots of guys willing to give up the body, eagerly get into that shooting lane, and the Canucks mindlessly at times willing to drill it into shin pads and what have you. Big part of the game now, no question about it. Yeah, the Canucks under Tortorella are going to block a lot of shots, and the Stars turn things around. I think a lot of it was the fact that positionally they had a pretty good first period in regards to body position along the boards and in the middle of the ice. So you couple the 13 shots that Kari Lettonen stopped, the 9 they blocked, that's a lot of rubber heading toward the Dallas net in the first 20 minutes.
Kari Lettonen this season, 9 wins, 3 losses, and 2 past 60 minutes where he picked up a point. Tremendous numbers for Lettonen, who's won his last 5 on the road. There he is. 18-year-old prodigy, Val Nichushkin. Seems to be his English is coming a little bit better. Guys are looking after him. Had a good mentor in Sergei Gonchar, and he's got the Stars up 1-0. Second period begins. Seguin tried to pop that over. Hamuse threw it out. Ben tosses it right back across. Hamuse and Tanev, the defensive pair for John Tortorella. Robidas stepping up, and then he fell over Higgins. The puck, I believe, is under Higgins. It is. Nichushkin wrestles it free, and a penalty coming up here for cross-checking at center ice.
Ben almost sprinted to the penalty box after this, I think a little bit out of disgust. I think Kessler should have been booked for simulation on this one. After the original collision, watch this. Over along the boards, Ben standing next to Kessler, gives him a shot in the shoulder, and Kessler went tumbling down to the ground to sell that. So has Ben doubled his minor penalty total here in a matter of 21 minutes on the season?
He has, and it is the second power play of the night for Vancouver. They're 0 for 1. And their power play, as we mentioned, not good, coming in at 10.9%. 2 spots from the bottom in the NHL. And Dallas will send him chasing. Well, no, Robidas doesn't get it out. It was blocked. Daniel Sedina shot that one off Kari Lehtinen. Here's Edler. Working the line, passing back to Daniel Sedin. Saved Lehtinen on that bid. Fiddler fell on his way toward the thing. He was tripped up toward the wall. And a penalty coming up against Vancouver.
I could hear the Stars bench all the way up here. We're not that far away. It's a wonderful location here at Rogers Arena. You know, hustling toward that loose puck, and the one on Ben was iffy at best in neutral ice anyway. And this gets it even back up again. Nice stop by Kari Lehtinen, which is a redundancy in this game here tonight. Fiddler had inside position, felt the tap on him, and down he went easily. So a little open ice to start off the second period.
4-on-4, Stars have Eakin and Chiasson up front, Daly and Goligoski, the defensive pair. And the faceoff to Roberto Luongo's left, where Eakin beats Henrik Sedin. Shot from Goligoski, saved Luongo. Eakin punches the rebound wide of the goal. Now he's in a puck battle with Bieksa. Chiasson and Henrik Sedin. Chiasson got it free to Daly. A shot saved Luongo with Eakin tied up in front.
Spit that aside. Stars are winning pucks.
Trevor Daly from the angle. Around behind, couldn't center it. Now drops it for Chiasson. Garrison pokes it away. And the Sedins forced to play in their own zone on this 4-on-4.
Wonder whether Trevor Daly just waited a tick too long, and by the time he did that, all he could see was the paraphernalia in the body of Roberto Luongo and no air around him.
Henrik Sedin to his brother Daniel, shot it wide of the net. Dallas will pick it up and go. Cole into the Vancouver zone. Henrik Sedin chasing him down. Goligoski fans on the puck. Cole tried to pinball it around in front. And Bieksa make sure it gets out. Canucks will finish changing. And here comes Kessler to Daniel Sedin. Back to Kessler. Goligoski got there. Lehtinen is flailing as Kessler tries to spin it back in front. And Alex Goligoski utilizing the boards to Val Nichushkin. Beverly all the way across the ice to Jordy Ben. Hamhuis will pick him up at the line. Jordy Ben burrowing in with Hamhuis back of the net. Canucks pick it off. Tanev straight up the ice. Left wing feed to Higgins. Tanev busting toward the net. Backhand shot off the mark. And a big collision. Jordy Ben is clocked by Hamhuis along the boards.
Couldn't have seen that coming. That was a frame straightener.
Higgins right back in. Shooting it. Jordy Ben blocks the shot. Stars pick it off, and now they have a man advantage briefly. Jamie Benn in full stride to Seguin into the middle, and Bieksa tossing it right back to Nichushkin. On top to Brendan Dillon. Passing it off to Seguin, who shot it wide of the net. So their brief power play ends as Edler joins. Gonchar in front, and off the scramble, Dillon will pick it up. Shoot it. Luongo the stop. And he'll cover off to the right of his net.
Hamhuis got dinged up a little bit. Good shift by that line. Tell you what, 4-on-4, Alex Goligoski was really showing what he can do. That's where he set up Trevor Daly, his D partner originally. Daly didn't pull the trigger on it. Then he jumps up on the rush. He's trailing Eric Cole. That's a good gap. They're urging the Stars defenseman to do that. Goligoski's a real smart, swift skating D-man that can do that with regularity and then extra effort and a little reach to break up the play going the other direction.
Morin wins the faceoff. Garbutt circling the net. Threw it through the traffic in front. Dillon took a chance, and that's off his stick as Kassian attempted to clear.
I don't think there's any question that Goligoski's confidence is building game by game. He got rattled so badly by the way things unfolded last season. And a rough start to this year, and lately he's been terrific. You forget, he's only 5'11", 185 pounds, so he has to use guile and mobility to get it done.
He's led the Dallas Blue Line in scoring in each of the past 2 seasons. And he's starting to get back into that again. Cassian lost the puck. Garbutt threw it away, and Cassian trying to bust into the Dallas zone with it. Santorelli's behind him. Dillon recovers defensively. They'll get it to Santorelli. Dillon whacked it to the boards. Garbutt up but not out. And Garrison putting it deep again. Dillon moved it swiftly. Robidoux shot it out to center ice, and a collision in front of the Vancouver bench. The Stars bring it in, but offside at the Vancouver line. Watch the Stars take on the New York Rangers on November 21st in the Kia Save Zone. Each Save Zone ticket includes a complimentary Victory Green t-shirt and a cheer card to support every save made by a Dallas Stars goalie. For more information, visit DallasStars.com/specials. Yes, we're coming home.
Cassian took a bad run at Travis Morin, missed him completely, almost impaled himself on the Canuck bench. Yeah, that's how you change.
It was headed there anyway.
Puck shot in from center ice, bounced up and into the netting in behind. So they'll start this over from center ice. The one thing that's been really impressive for me with the Stars on this road trip, you saw it the other night in Calgary, and here again tonight, outside of when they scored in the opening period, the shift lengths have been impeccable. It's 45 seconds hard and off. Keep the energy up.
Puck is laying on the back of the Dallas net, and now it's in the net from behind, and the mock cheer here from the fans at Rogers Arena. That tell you that finally the Canucks have figured out how to score.
We got to figure out the ones that count, though. Our old friend Glenn Gullickson's on the Canuck bench, too. Where he should be, I think, as an NHL assistant. 2 years in the American Hockey League. No NHL experience, seemed a bit rich for him. When you think about it, you know, Tortorella and Lindy Ruff both were assistant coaches in the NHL before they ever became head guys. So, good opportunity for him to work under a real upper echelon NHL coach. He cares a lot, Glenn Gullickson. He works hard. If he gets another chance as a head guy in the league, he's going to be really good.
He said this is his first chance to be an assistant coach at any level. And he likes it here in Vancouver.
He runs their power play, though.
Oops.
Not that the guys in suits have that much to do with what goes on. Just ask Kurt Fraser. You can say things, but they do others.
They did get a power play goal the other night in Calgary. And Dallas now with the puck. Sergei Gonchar steadying it to Eric Cole. Rink wide, Jordy Ben tosses it across the Vancouver line. Edler finds Bieksa. Snapped it ahead to Kessler, who's got Chiasson on his back. Drug it in. Shot from the wing from Higgins, and a save, Kari Lehtinen.
Was using that glove well here tonight. And it's very important when you've got a team at the end of a road trip and lots of road games recently. The more times he can stop play and start the music is essentially what they do at the end of the rink. The better it can be. I think Finland's goaltending at the Olympics is all set, don't you? Mm-hmm. Between Niemi and Tuukka Rask and Kari Lehtinen, they should be strong at the position. Look at the numbers he's posted on the road this season for the Stars. 7-1.
Kessler won it, but Robidoux finds possession of the puck. And it skids toward the icing line. Tanev getting there. Higgins relays it. Dillon will go collect it. Up the middle to Sagan. Quickly off to Ben. Now Nichushkin taking it in stride against Tanev. Slams on the brakes. And then just passed it gingerly into the middle of the ice.
Ben had already driven to the front of the net. Instead of occupying that space. Nice brisk puck movement by the Stars, though, to get it up ice.
They're back in their own zone again. Dillon drew two toward him, and Robidoux. Pass ahead to Jamie Benn. Sagan stretched out to find it. He'll take the line. Kicked it off to Peverley. Shooting it. Save Luongo. Higgins jammed by Alex Goligoski. Henrik got it out. And Booth and Dillon go shoulder to shoulder. Henrik Sedin back at the Dallas net. He and his twin brother Daniel are back there. And went second and third overall in 1999. Fiddler took it to center, pumps it deep. He's in a race for it, no icing. Beverly tried to hand it off to Horkoff. Burroughs tipped it past Goligoski. Lettinen back of his net. And now in the near corner, it's Henrik Sedin. Back of the net to Burroughs. Burroughs creeps out, backhand shot, save Lettinen, rebound, and there's a penalty on Horkoff.
That might be a good one, though.
Yeah. Probably saved a goal, but he will put Vancouver on the power play for the third time. 1-0 Dallas in Van.
63rd career game for Sean Horkoff against the Vancouver Canucks. All that prior to this with the Edmonton Oilers. He got caught multitasking in front of the net. They collapsed. Good play by Burroughs all around. Twists out from behind the net, throws it on goal, and then follows it up. No chance for Kari Lettinen to handle this one as it came through that crowd. How did it even get through there? And then it seems like the second period has been as soon as you feel a stick on your body, fall down, and Burroughs did that. Canucks to the power play again.
For the third time in the game, they're 0 for 2. The last one was very short on the overlap. Kessler and Daniel Sedin each have 2 power play goals to lead the Canucks. They have 1 in their last 4 games, and it belongs to Kevin Bieksa, who's also out there with Edler on top. Kessler beaten in the faceoff circle.
I was going to say, good work by Roussel. Fiddler got booted out. You could see him talk with Vern Fiddler about responsibilities after it, and then he just whipped it away from Kessler.
Stars fail to get it out. Kessler, a shot, save, rebound, score! Henrik Sedin. No, they wave it off.
Goalie interference.
Bob Martell was flailing his arms, and we'll see what the call is here.
Well, it's the broken play, which is always really difficult to defend. When there's a shot, it hits something and then goes somewhere else. Work it around. Keep an eye on the front of the net and Kari Lettinen. He's out to challenge this one from the point. He got back into, I guess, and it was immediately waved off.
Was that the seed planted?
Boy, I would have done it. The goaltender's supposed to have full range of motion in the blue paint area, the crease. And Kari flailed around a little bit. Tortorella now is gesticulating and freaking out on their bench. No goal, no penalty. There are various options with goalie interference. Stars are okay with that one.
Yes, they are. 1:35 remaining on the Horkoff minor, and a very determined Alex Edler drops it back to Kessler. Gave it to Henrik at the line. They turn it over, and Chiasson gives the crowd more reasons to boo. Here comes Bieksa. Hauling Chiasson with him to the Dallas line. Daniel Sedin is onside. Shot at pad save. Kari Lettinen. Henrik to Daniel in the corner. Beverly engaging Henrik Sedin. Robitaille in there too with a shove on Edler. They go out to the line for Bieksa. Can't shoot it, is on his backhand. He'll heave it in, and Henrik unable to make the catch.
I just realized there's a crowd here tonight. They've been so quiet.
Edler fired it, saved Lettinen. I don't know that he saw it. Bieksa back of the net. Henrik to Daniel along the boards. It went off his stick. Edler will hold it at the line with Peverly pressuring. Daniel lost the puck. Big check from Dillon. Daniel Sedin all the way over. Lettinen robs Bieksa.
Lickety split.
Edler pulls it down. Bieksa into the middle. Kessler into the corner. Daniel Sedin whips it around the boards. 20 seconds remaining on the Horkoff minor. Edler giving it to Henrik. Slapped it into the corner. Daniel centered it, and Lettinen's there with Edler. Puck went up off the glass and out of play, and 8 seconds remaining on the power play, and they don't like it here in Vancouver.
Well, this is just phenomenal lateral mobility from Kari Lettinen. Gets across in a stunning pad save on Bieksa. Comes down that back door, stick handling through raindrops as Daniel Sedin to set it up, and Lettinen got a good jump, read it beautifully, and spit it aside. Exactly what he needed to do against a club that's struggling to score right now. Can just frustrate them over and over again. They've had quality chance after quality chance.
Tanev brings it across. Shot at Lettinen, guiding it to the corner. They get Horkoff back. The Canucks are 0 for 3 on the power play, but they have the puck in the Dallas zone. Tanev shot it. Higgins unable to redirect. Seguin pursuing Hamhuis. Santorelli back of the line. Higgins was tied up by Trevor Daley, and the puck squeaks out to center. 11:15 left in the second period. Shots are 23-11 Vancouver, but 1-0 Dallas is the score. Santorelli back out to Hamhuis. Shot it wide of the net. Burrows was looking for the puck. Goligoski claims it, and Santorelli knocks it down to Burrows. And another penalty coming up. This one's on Goligoski. It's a delayed call. Higgins worked it to the middle, and Lettinen made the stop. Extra attacker is on as Santorelli tried to snap it over. It's deflected to Burrows back of the net. Off toward Higgins, now to Henrik. Tanev moves it over to Hamhuis. Back out to Tanev. Shot it. Relayed. Higgins misses the net. Seguin should get this puck. He does. And there's the whistle, putting the Canucks on the job for the 4th time.
Trouble spot in this game. Back-checking defensemen. They pull it off the wall. And, again, touch fouls are being called. You know you're going to get the gate after the goal was erased on the prior one if you do anything delinquent. So Goligoski sits right after they get back to even strength. I think Lindy Ruff might have asked quickly about a timeout. Instead, they'll just carry on.
Face off to Kari's left. It's Bert Fiddler and Ryan Kessler. Canucks win it. Edler over. Shot from Bieksa is blocked by Roussel. Henrik Sedin trying to create from the wing to Daniel. Off to Henrik. That's Kessler drifting in front, and a good stick from Roussel. Put it out to center ice.
Antoine Roussel's been peppy here again tonight. Blocking shots.
Canucks are back in. Henrik left it. Kessler trying to find it. Dylan will, but he can't clear it. That hits Daniel. Henrik, Kessler, and Daniel Sedin right here along the boards. Daniel to Henrik Sedin. Shot from Bieksa, save Lettinen, and he holds it as he lunges to his right to protect the puck.
It looked like that cat apparatus that they have on television that they sell at 2 o'clock in the morning where the little mouse is going around and your cat will play for hours with it. This thing comes through from distance, pounds off the body. They've had all kinds of net presence on Kari Lettinen tonight. Then he went chasing. Where? Go get it. They're closing in on 30 shots in the game, and we're midway through this. Do the math. Gonna face 50 tonight.
Garbutt emerged from the pile, but can't sneak it past Hamhuis at the line. Gonchar knocked it down. Horkoff to Garbutt, and that goes off the linesman. It was already out at center ice. Hamhuis shot it ahead. Higgins tied up by Gonchar. Lettinen going back to find it. He'll leave it for Jordy Ben. Takes 2 steps and smacks it off the glass. 9:25 left in the second period. 45 seconds remaining on the Goligoski minor. 1-0 Dallas. Santorelli got it to Burrows. Higgins unable to gather it in his skates. Now picks it up off Gonchar. Chiasson digging in. And he pushed it out to center ice. Garrison holding it there. Hamhuis working it up. Higgins to Santorelli. Garrison, look out, shot it into the glove, and Kari Lettinen makes his 27th save of the game.
Yeah, they are pelting, showering, strafing the Big Fin with rubber here in Vancouver tonight. Maybe that's why they called that goal off. It was like, he's been so good tonight, it's impossible that would go in. Had to look around Burrows right in front of the net on that one, and windmill catch with the glove hand. First star in the first half of this hockey game, no question about that.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Under 9 minutes remaining. Stars get Goligoski back in 17 seconds. Eakin way low against Kessler. To the boards. Here's Edler shooting it. Save Lettinen. Rebounds there. Went back of the net. Kessler tied up. Robidoux worked it over. Roussel has his man in check, and that allows Dillon to escape to center ice. Pass it off to Cody Eakin. They're offside at the line, and that'll get a whistle as the penalty expires to Alex Goligoski. 8.5 remaining in the second period. Kari Lehtinen with 28 saves so far, keeping Dallas up 1-0.
Oh, just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Kari Lehtinen time is what it is here again, as it has been throughout the first portion of this season on the road. KL32. It's the best steroid any Dallas Star has ever been injected with. Couldn't believe that the one goal was waved off on the power play, goalie interference on that. Everything else he has repelled and sent back toward the Canucks. Frustration creeping in with them. Lehtinen seems to get bigger and bigger as this thing moves along. Started off by whitewashing the Edmonton Oilers in essentially a 1-0 game at the beginning of this road trip. Everyone, it looks like 3-0 at the end of the game. 2 empty net goals. And then got tons of offensive support in Calgary the other night. Gave up 3, but it didn't matter. They scored 7. Didn't skate the next day. They had a practice yesterday, got some work in. No skate this morning. And then here tonight he's getting plenty of work in behind a Stars team that has taken on some water here in the second period because of penalties.
Ben Nichushkin and Sagan out there for the Dallas Stars.
Shots are 15-4 in this period.
Got Richardson excused, and so Kassian will take on Ben. Nichushkin guided it over.
It's the other thing, too, you know, you kill penalties like that, and you have some top-end offensive guys that don't kill penalties, and they have to sit for a while. They're out here now.
And in their own zone, Sagan knew the hit was coming from Kassian. Dallas able to get it to the line, but not out. Kassian whips it in deep. Booth goes to the front of the net. Now behind it to Aid, and Tanev swung and missed and then fell, and here come the Stars. Ben and Nichushkin, a 2-on-1 with Hamhuis back. Ben, look, shot it, saved Luongo.
Played pretty well defensively. I don't know that he had the option to get it over to Nichushkin on their way in.
Hamhuis up ahead. Stars are changing and almost got caught with too many men. Kassian behind the Dallas net. Goligoski shoved him off the puck. Richardson leaving it in the corner. Daly juts through. And Cody Eakin takes it away from Kassian. Puts it back of the net.
Just stronger on the puck than Big Kassian.
Now he flicks away and takes the line. Eakin scrambling. Nichushkin wanted that puck, but Kessler shoves it out to center ice. Higgins grabs it with his skates, moves it into the zone, heading toward the net. Backhander save Lehtinen. Jordy Ben's in front, and he plays it to the boards for Cole. Rumbles up the wing. Stick checked away. Edler driving it right back across.
I think that's what feeds the Canucks at times, too. The Ben brothers had trouble with the puck in neutral ice. If you're not good in between the two blue lines, they can come at you with pace. They did there.
Stars have to tag up here, giving Garrison a chance to get it out. Brendan Dillon back, deep in his own zone to Fiddler. Cole looking for the puck at center ice. So is Bieksa.
It's a great example of what they're doing better now than they did a month ago, where they patiently picked their way into their own zone with support.
Daniel Sedin onside at the Dallas line. Henrik carrying on, goes to the net, and jammed it through.
Wow, he's just given a lane to the net there.
Stanton firing, save Lehtinen, and he'll scoop it up.
Well, the Stars did get a rare scoring opportunity here in the middle frame. Tanev, the defenseman, puck comes around and he's whiffed and then lost his footing completely. Took himself out of the equation, but it was really played beautifully by Hamhuis on the way back. You know, take away the pass option, let your goaltender handle the shot. Ben had no option. Maybe he looked over and saw Nichushkin, not Sagan, and decided to just take it by himself.
Wait a minute, you're not 91. Hey, Roussel again. Has to do it with Henrik Sedin. Henrik Sedin wins it. Garbett went down. Burrows shot it. And it dribbled in on Lehtinen. Morin, the puck took a weird hop along the boards right back toward him. Robidas angling it off the glass and held in at the line by Daniel Sedin. Henrik Sedin left it. Bieksa shot it wide of the net.
Those are two of the freakiest bounces I've seen off glass in a building. Penalty upcoming to the Canucks.
Roussel threw it at the net, and so Dallas, with under 6 minutes to play in the second period, gets their first full power play of the game.
Garbutt drew it way behind the play.
See if they can get a little breathing room here for Kari Lehtinen when we come back to Vancouver. The Stars are up 1-0.
Stars think that's a good spot for one of the best pure passers in the game. Henrik Sedin in for interference right in front of the Canuck bench, and the Stars power play goes to work. You know, Seguin has just 4 points on the power play. Jamie Benn just 3 points this season on the power play. So almost all of what they've done has been done at even strength, which is impressive.
Stars' second power play of the game. First full crack at it. Goligoski turning away from Hamhuis in the corner. Canucks outman him there. And Richardson moved it to center ice. Canucks have 3 shorthanded goals this season, so you got to be a little bit careful. Seguin burrowing in with Hamhuis. Jamie Benn shoots it around. Chiasson, Richardson. And Chiasson, it's out of his reach. Santorelli's going to go. He's got Tanev jumping to join him. Santorelli passes it off to Richardson, and Benn lifted the stick.
Of course he did.
Now Benn knocks it down. He has to wait for Peverley and then moves it over. Tanev picks it off and clears.
How many times has Jamie Benn done that during this road trip, where just pins his ears back and tracks back into his own zone to lift a stick and break up an offensive play? Might have saved a goal there.
1:08 remaining on the Dallas power play in the glasses half full department. They do have 2 power play goals over their last 4 games, but they're 26th coming in. Cole back of the Vancouver net. Robidas to Gonchar. Back to Robidas. Takes a look, passes off, shot from Cole, wide of the net, blocked. Nichushkin retrieves. Out to Robidas, firing, tipped off the bodies in front, right back out to Robidas. Now for Gonchar, who settles it with his skates. Cole battling in front. Eakins pass off the mark and out of the zone.
This is where the Canucks have really padded their shot blocking stats in the early season. Lots of guys who will just stop up and take a puck in a shin pad or a skate.
And the Canucks clear it here. Vancouver is the #1 penalty killing team in the league. They've allowed 1 power play goal in their last 8 games. However, it was a
costly one.
In the game in overtime the other night against San Jose.
Same guy was in the box, was he not?
Mm-hmm. He's about to get out. And so Dallas is 0 for 2 with the man advantage, but they still lead 1-0 with under 4 minutes to play in the second period, and Garbutt's offside. Intentionally so, it is ruled.
Yeah, he was way offside. That's what they're saying. You're way offside, son. We're going to go all the way back down into your own zone. Well, watch number 14 on that last play. He's the deepest guy in the zone. He goes giddy up. 2 things. Reads it and goes giddy up. Last second, just lifts the stick of Richardson. Little drop pass. There he is hunting it. That's puck jacking at its finest. He's been in the box a couple of times here tonight. I think a lot of guys are plotting a little bit and trying to find that extra little spurt.
Canucks win the draw. Stanton shot it wide of the net. Goligoski taps it out. Garrison into the middle. Kassian in check. Stanton again, firing. One off Daly, bounces right in front and then toward the boards. Kassian toward Richardson. He's held up. Been some crazy bounces here in the second period. David Booth, from whom the Canucks have received little this season. Back out on top to Stanton. Deep for Richardson. Goligoski shoved it between his skates. Booth pries it off the boards and then falls down. Kassian attempted to center to Richardson. And Daly wins the puck. With his legs is able to get it to center ice and beyond. Orkov harassing Stanton. Kassian dropping it back, and the Sedins are out here again. Henrik left it and occupies Daniel. A shot, save Lehtinen. To the line for Tanev. Shooting, save Lehtinen, or boy, it pinballed around in front again.
I think it hit him, hit Daly and Kassian right in front of the net and went the other direction.
Nichushkin with a very nice catch and then pass to Benn. And fighting through Tanev. Robidas hustling down against Henrik Sedin. Big pile up. Nichushkin finds the puck. Benn's creating a little bit of space for him. Robidoux rescues and sends it deep again to the Dallas captain. Ben centered it up the slot to Dillon. He'll shoot it. That's blocked by Burrows. He wants to go. Daniel Sedin pirouetting at the line all the way over to Henrik. In front, they hit the post on the deflection.
That spinorama does work. Burrows breaking to the net.
Stars were frozen, and this one goes wide of the net. The light came on for an instant. Daniel sends it back out to Edler. Garrison a shot wide of the net. Daniel Sedin into the corner. Cole getting there to bounce Garrison. Centering pass, but Dillon is in position to claim it. Shoot it to the line. Great keep by Garrison. Canucks continue to pressure in the Dallas zone. Edler shooting it. Lettinen the save with the blocker. Daniel Sedin to Henrik Sedin in the corner. Seguin stepping in, and he just wants to relieve the pressure. Icing is coming against Dallas, and maybe your timeout here.
I almost think you have to take it here. This deep pair's been out forever. Nichushkin's bent over right now. He'll have a look, I'm sure, to see who's going to come out for the Canucks. But I mean, you might as well do it. The Sedins, the spinorama, straight to his brother, across. Dillon, I think, with some weary legs, was backed off. Nichushkin didn't have his man breaking to the net. It's almost like a dead pipe deflection by Burrows. Lettinen's living right tonight. That one waved off, this went off the pipe in behind him here in the second, and the beat goes on for frustrated Canucks. The Stars have, in fact, taken their timeout here in a 1-0 game with a minute left in the second period and some guys gassed on the ice. Yes.
20 of Vancouver's 33 shots have come in the middle frame. And now off the timeout. The Stars have a hybrid combination. Seguin, Nichushkin, and Erik Cole with Robidoux and Dillon.
Cole had a chance to get it out with Garrison at the blue line and went on the offensive side instead of the defensive side, and it kept this thing going.
Seguin wins the faceoff, and Dillon clears it. It hops to Seguin at center ice. He can't get it too deep. Hansen stretching out to find it in the corner in the Dallas zone. Let's get some of their change in. Cole still out here. Canucks move it over to Bieksa. Eakin strips him, and Chiasson will go. Into Dillon skates and back to Alex Chiasson at the Vancouver line, but Hansen wouldn't let him over. Higgins storming back in. Hansen in front, and Cole took them all the way out of the play.
It's fortunate he didn't get a penalty there. This is silly, though, for the Stars. They had two opportunities to get the puck in deep and get their full change in after Seguin had won that draw. And both times they turned it over with soft plays. Usually this is fatal. I mean, there's three guys on two. Just put it in deep. Instead, back it goes the other way. Chase. Cole has to go in. They bump skates on their way in. Canucks don't get the call that time. Stars finally get their full complement of fresh players on the ice here with 40 seconds to go in the second period.
There's a team that needs the period to end.
Like a 2-minute shift. Yeah, there's weariness. I think there's road weariness in them. I always find it odd, though, that the goalie never is expected to be road weary.
No.
Just be our best player. I don't care. And you're only out there all the time.
Dallas comes up with the puck. Fiddler to Roussel at center ice, but still they're unclean with it.
Yeah, they've been sloppy here in the second period, not executing the way they have. They're fortunate this is a 1-0 game.
Jordy Ben gallops across. Now decides to put it deep. Fiddler had a man on his back. Eakin ties up. Fiddler escapes with the puck. Back of the net. Shot it through the blue. It angles out toward the line. Gonchar with 5 seconds left in the period. Using the end boards. Roussel eliminated by Garrison, and they survived the second period. Stars are outshot 20-5 in the second period. 33-12 through two, but that guy has kept them in the game. Kari Lettinen stopped everything that's come his way, and he got a little bit of help from a waved-off goal. It's 1-0 Dallas. Brendan Dillon joins Daryl Ray in the intermission. Stars lead 1-0 as we head to the third period in Vancouver. Kari Lettinen the main reason why the one goal has stood up, Razor, and he has been busy and he's been dealing with lots of stuff in front of his net.
There's been a gravitational pull to the front of his net, almost like iron shavings to a magnet. Over and over and over again, there's been a Canuck forward planted, either right in front of him or off to the side, sometimes multiples. One of them a little too close for comfort for the referees, and they continue to hear it. It's been quite a joust between Stars defensemen as the Canucks continually try to visually inconvenience Kari Lehtinen. And he's fought through all of it.
Vancouver is the best team in the National Hockey League at coming off the pace. They have 6 wins when the opposition has scored first, and twice they've come back when trailing heading into the third period. And this one feels like it might set up pretty well for them. Stars 6-0 when leading after 40 minutes.
Well, they're desperate and they're mad now. It's quite a cocktail to deal with when you're the Stars playing your third game of a long Western road trip.
Pinpoint passing gets the Stars into the Vancouver zone, only to see Tanev find the puck. Nichushkin rescues, threw it toward the net. It was blocked. Seguin back at the goal. Shrugged off Tanev, and then the pass is intercepted. Here comes Kessler to the Dallas line. Higgins to his left, takes the puck. Robidas takes Higgins, who then put the puck deep to Kessler. Shot it off the skate. Nichushkin gave it away. Hansen to Kessler. A shot, save Lehtinen. Robidas digging in. Puck battle back in the Dallas net. And it's Nichushkin. Stalled as he walked into Edler. Edler taking Robidas with him. And under Robidas. And in the corner is the puck.
Got 2 sticks. He's a mess down there.
Stars finally come away with it. Nichushkin to the Vancouver line. He'll pull up all the way over to Ben. Shot it off the side of the net.
Boy, there have been some long shifts by Stars here tonight.
Well, Nichushkin's still out there. Now he finally gets to the Dallas bench. Almost a minute and a half into the third period. Haley leaves it. Goligoski on the wing to Chiasson. Couldn't get it out. Henrik Sedin gave it right back to him, and this time he pumps it to center. Eakin will pick it up. It slows for him in the zone. Eakin to Cole, a shot, he scores! That is a huge goal for Eric Cole and the Stars, and they're up 2-0.
Well, Val Nichushkin had a bit of a rough opening shift to this second period. He had Seguin in front of the net earlier, didn't get him the puck, and then he feeds one into the middle of the ice in his own zone. Kari Lehtinen to the rescue again. Canucks were in full aggressive pinch mode. He exits down the boards. He gets backed up by Sedin, but the youngster, who I think is just terrific on the boards, Chiasson wins a puck down. They spring a 2-on-1 with a succulent little saucer pass. Wicked finish by Cole on his off wing. Stars have a little breathing room.
Cole's second of the season from Eakin and Chiasson at 142. Now Vern Fiddler with the puck deep in the Vancouver zone. Beverly hemmed in. Burrows pivots away from Horkoff and gives it to Bieksa. Center ice, he'll drive it deep, and Lehtinen has to cover it in the blue paint.
Well, there's that line. They cash in. Big goal, obviously gargantuan goal for the Stars here early in the third period. Cole was back over on that rush up the ice to the right side, where he spent almost his entire NHL career playing right wing, left shot. He hasn't played left wing since college, left wing and center when he was in college, but he got moved over there prior to this road trip and has played the left side with Eakin and Chiasson, and they cash in here early in the third.
Pile up in the corner. Travis Morin has his stick held by Santorelli. Wrestles it free. Finally gets his stick loose too, and Garbutt dispatching it out. Roussel in a race with Tanev. Roussel closing on him, took it away, trying to bunt it in front for Morin, who was driving to the front of the net. Morin out to Gonchar. Flips it down to Garbutt. Hacked off his stick. And the Canucks bring it out. Kassian moving down the boards. Jordy Ben back in the net. Getting a little help from Roussel or Garbutt. Out to center ice. Following up is Garbutt amidst 3 Canucks by himself, a backhander, and then he goes to the net to force the face-off, and a collision back there, and now they're all on Garbutt.
Well, he came in a little extra couple feet out of Garbutt after the backhand toward the net. You know, it's a simple play, but it's a smart play by Garbutt to get it on goal, force the face-off, and then he comes in and trades a little paint with Hamhuis. He's been getting his shots on goal. You know, he gets puck to the net. Since that suspension, came into the game tonight with 18 shots in the last 6 games in that goal that you spoke of. Prior to that, he only had 9 shots in 8 games. He was barely getting a shot a game. The more aggressive mindset, maybe he's trading in the big nasty hit for more funneling of pucks toward the net. He's going to spend time in the box here, though. Did they nail him for cross-check on the tail end of it?
So Vancouver's sleeping power play will get another crack, their 5th of the game. They had one disallowed on the power play in the second period that would have tied the game at 1.
It's a bit unnecessary. It's the tail end of a real nothing play. You get the face-off all the way down in their zone. You just went up 2-0. And instead, you may ignite the flame here.
Pays off to Kari Lettonen's left. Fiddler and Kessler. Kessler has not been good in the circle. Goes to the boards. The Canucks have the puck. Edler on top. Gave it to Bieksa. Kessler slides to the corner. Bieksa took a look at him. Gets it back from Daniel Sedin. Now to Kessler, attacking the net. A shot, save, rebound, score! Henrik Sedin. No issue there, and the Canucks are on the board.
So he pulls himself off the 0 for list. Their power play cashes in, which it hadn't. A long skate for Garbutt, 85 feet across to the awaiting eyes of Lindy Ruff. And this is very much back on again here. Tough play. The stuff play is defended well. Stefan Robidas is worried about what's going to happen on the rebound. You get the left shot, right side, sweeping in. Little pop up and over top of Kari Lettonen. They finally beat him, and it counts.
In his 651st consecutive game, that's Henrik Sedin's 4th goal of the season. And the Stars iced the puck after the center ice faceoff. So again, Kari Lettonen will be staring at the Canucks.
We can only hold those two down for so long. Usually it's the other way around. Henrik setting up Daniel on most nights. That's 13 power play shots in the game. It took them to their 36th shot to have one actually count on the board here tonight. And you get the feeling the Stars are that kitty cat on the couch hanging on by the claws here in the 3rd period.
Higgins will try it here as Kessler is dispatched with Jamie Benn. Higgins wins the draw. Kessler shoots it in deep. They announce the goal in the building. Hansen jockeying around in the corner out to Hamhuis. Tanev shot blocked. Seguin came out to challenge. And Benn. Spirited play off the boards for Benn. Nichushkin tried to plow it over. Hamhuis took it away, and here comes Hansen back into Dallas ice. Kessler and Bieksa with the assists on that power play goal by Henrik Sedin. Kessler's working after it again. Daly staying with him stride for stride. Kessler turning to his forehand, taking it back of the net. Daly shadowing him to the near boards. Hansen out of the corner. Nobody's in front for the Canucks. Hamhuis dumps it deep. Higgins with nowhere to go.
This has been the match throughout the game tonight, though. Right from the opening faceoff. Have that line against Benn, Seguin, and Nichushkin.
Nichushkin tosses it to Seguin, and he'll drive it in from center ice. So, very much on here in Vancouver. The Stars lead at 2-1, but they've been outshot 36-16. 15.5 to play in the 3rd. A lot of time. Jordy Benn, Cody Eakin. Garrison wrestles it away for Alex Edler. Spins it off the boards. Gonchar knocked it down at center. That's a hand pass against Dallas. Bring your family of 4 to see the Stars take on the Ducks November 26th with the Dallas Stars Family Pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas, plus save 25% or more. For more information, call 214-GO-STARS or visit dallasstars.com/specials.
Well, so far, Lindy Ruff's crew has been able to hang on to second intermission leads. They're 6-0 this season. They're going to get severely challenged here now, though.
And maybe right here, Daniel Sedin shoved by Gonchar. Fans trying to inspire a call. None came. Fiddler racing through center ice. Stanton back of his net. Fiddler trying to wear him out. Burroughs finds it. He's got Bieksa jumping to the Dallas line. Jordy Ben slowed it down, and Gonchar shot it in, and an icing call against Dallas again.
Boy, they came close to getting caught on that rush. The Canuck defense from time to time will be very aggressive and jump ups. Came out through the middle of the ice, and lickety split going down. He got stoned earlier in the game by Kari Lehtinen. Lots of guys could say that tonight.
Well, as you've said often, it's the one position in sports that just can trump everything you're doing.
It's the equalizer. No relation to the rest of the game, and yet it's about 95% of the game.
Face off to Kari's left. Fiddler wins it against Henrik Sedin. Gonchar played it up the boards. Henrik was waiting for it there. Burroughs was on both knees. Daniel from back of the net to Henrik to Burroughs in front off his stick and into the corner. Edler pumps it, save Lehtinen. Rebound toward Daniel, and Peverley's able to stick it out. No icing here. Dallas can get their change.
They really have the Stars chasing now, though. It started in that second period. It's continued on here.
Daniel shoots it in. Lehtinen tried to go after it, and it comes right back to him, and he pounces on it in his crease as Roussel is driven into the post by Henrik Sedin.
Made his own mess that time by kind of not handling the original puck to him and then just passing his problem along. That the elegant tip from center ice to get it deep, and it turns into a mad scramble in and around the Stars net. He leads all goaltenders and wins on the road. Save percentage is just outstanding, and it looks like it's going to go up here tonight, although there's a ton of clock left. Closing in on 40 shots. That's one of the areas the Stars have become much better in the early season, is trimming the shots against.
They were giving up routinely near 40 in the first 8 or 10 games of the year.
I think the question now is, are they going to keep it under 50 here tonight?
Dallas getting this puck out. Stanton unable to hold the line. Bieksa backhanding it back in. Brendan Dillon. Cole. His goal has given Dallas the lead they now enjoy, which is 2-1. It was 2-0 at the time he scored it.
Just his second goal of the season. Remember last year he came over in the trade. It was goals but no assists. This year it's been a few helpers and no goals.
Well, they try another cram play at the Dallas net. Dillon kicked it up to Cole, and out with it comes the Stars. Cole taking the Vancouver line. Try to pass across to Dillon. Daly for Dillon. Shooting it. Save Luongo. Rebounds loose and gloved out of there by Stanton.
Quite a play.
Nichushkin below the line. All the way around. Eakin stick broke, so Nichushkin's on his own here. And a centering pass is blocked by Bieksa. Goligoski for Jamie Benn. Wristing it. Save Luongo. He got that there in a hurry. Seguin to Benn. Walks away from Stanton. And then Bieksa recovered. Seguin to Benn. He shoots it, trying to pick the corner. Daly will hold the zone. First consistent attack time for the Stars in a while. Goligoski at the right point, firing it through. It's tipped out of play with 12:47 remaining in the third period. The frame started 1-0 Dallas. Eric Cole expanded the lead, and then on a Vancouver power play, Henrik Sedin got Vancouver back to within a shot. 2-1 Stars in the third.
Well, the Stars are going to fly home tonight, get in the wee hours of the morning. They don't play again until Thursday when they host the New York Hockey Rangers. 7:30, Fox Sports Southwest on the television side. Ticket on the radio side, DallasStars.com or 214-GO-STARS for tickets. Boy, I love the way Lindy Ruff runs a bench, though. He gets the Eakin line out there against the line that has been matched up throughout the game, Kessler and company, for a shift, change on the fly. Seguin, Benn, and Nichushkin got all of that opportunity against a tired checking line from the Canucks. Almost got another insurance tally there. Just that timing, experience of veteran coaches and their ability to align things so that they can continue to sort of dictate the way things go. I don't know how much they've done in the dictating department tonight, but now and then
Well, the Stars here spending some rare shifts in the Vancouver zone. Horkoff got it over. Goligoski shooting it, save, rebound, loose, Fiddler. No, Luongo's got it.
Pretty good work by Edler to box out a little bit. Make sure that that rebound didn't get right to a Dallas Star and pound it in. It's good movement, pretty aggressive defensive zone coverage by the Canucks. They get exposed a little bit when Burrows gets hungry after a loose puck, and second opportunities. Everybody's looking for that. That was a juicy, pudgy rebound off the body of Luongo.
Stars stay with the same group here. Richardson coming out to oppose Peverley. Peverley wins it cleanly. Back to Gonchar. Firing. Deflects wide. Edler and Fiddler again. Back of the net. Garrison poked it to the boards. Jordy Ben keeps it deep. Fiddler took it about waist high. Edler's lost his stick, trying to hang on. Peverley, a shot that's blocked by Kessler. Richardson off the boards, off linesman Lonnie Cameron, and a good hop for the Canucks. In comes Kessler all the way to the net. And it goes to the corner where Kessler finds it again. Gets the return from Garrison and hands it back. Hamhuis looking for a lane. Peverley blocks it. And trying to hit Morin in stride, who drags it out to center ice with him. Dallas finally getting it over the Vancouver line as they attempt to make a change here. 11:45 remaining in the third. 2-1 Stars. Morin tied up along the boards at center ice. Hamhuis will take it back into his own zone. Now Richardson at center ice. Threw it over the Dallas line. Robida back of the net. Up through Roussel and all the way down. This is going to be icing again against Dallas.
How can that be icing when he pinches like that? The defenseman Hamhuis comes flying in there. The puck goes through. Roussel just leaves it, and they give him the icing. Wow. Kessler with a burst of speed. He's been noticeable tonight in many different facets. The old inside-outside. Watch, though, Jordy Ben grabs this thing and throws it right between his legs. He Bucknered it to the corner. Looked like a long snapper on that one. Pretty deft little play.
Morin gets kicked out. Now Roussel, after the Stars get a little more time for a quick breather. Henrik Sedin to the boards. Burrows to Daniel, a shot off the side of the net, and then he pumped the second one wide. Again, Roussel is without a stick. There's been a lot of fallen sticks here tonight.
I think there's been a lot of guys going hard stick on stick in the game, fighting for pucks, whether it was a talking point heading into the game, usually is with modern coaches.
And this results in a face-up in the Vancouver zone, just the high toss from center.
The warning track, Roberto Luongo flipped the shades down and just took that one in the big mitt, so they'll start off to his right. I think Luongo's mentally stronger now for going through what he has had to endure here in Vancouver, where the fans have been on him. His best buddies at times. He had to deal with the Schneider thing and who's number one. Now it's clear-cut number one. It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
I've heard that. He's allowed 2 or fewer in 7 of his last 8 games, yet his record is only 4-2-2 in that stretch.
There's another stick.
Cole from the side of the net. Eakin tripped up as he tried to shoot it, and Daly didn't get much on his bid. Hooks and hacks, and there's Cole bouncing it off a skate in front.
Maybe it's the moist nature of the West Coast, too, that has guys slipping on their sticks a little.
I'll buy anything. Daly will feed it down the boards. Nichushkin fired after the puck. It escapes to center ice. Daly backing into his own zone. About half a period to play. Stars have actually outshot the Canucks here in the third period.
Yeah, it's become surprisingly more tactical than I thought it was going to be at the beginning of the period, when I thought the Stars would get the very, very best out of the Canucks.
Nichushkin stretching out. Edler beats him to the puck in the Vancouver zone. Wings it up the boards right to Jordy Ben. Passing it deep. Edler lost it. Nichushkin, who had the first goal of the game back in the first period from line mates Seguin and Ben. Garrison back of his net. Alex Edler. Gonchar keeping it in. Nichushkin alone, waiting for help. Pumped it wide of the goal. Long pass from the Canucks. This should be icing. It is against Vancouver.
That is icing.
Yes, that is.
That is no question icing. Hybrid or otherwise. Lindy Ruff trying to, I think, milk as much out of the udder of this group right now at the end of a road trip. He knows energy's a bit of a problem. They survived the second period. They have a lead. Canucks are going to take their time out here with the icing. I think you should almost give all coaches one icing timeout and one regular
There you go.
timeout. It's the
I
only,
like that.
It's the only time they seem to use these anymore. They get pinned down and they use it to kind of re-rack things and rest some people that have perhaps been out there for a while. But, you know, I'm sure every coach in the league would like one of those throughout the game when they get in trouble like that, and one at the end of the game when they're really trying to either design something to tie a game or lock a game down. That seems weird that they only have one timeout a game, doesn't it?
Well, that's a very good compromise for those who are wondering, well, should they have two, should they have three? But you get an icing timeout, and then you get your, your regular last, want to pull my goalie out, get everything set up timeout. All right.
Especially if they're going to call everything icing now.
Yeah. It is a contributing factor. Pair of 17s, Kessler and Beverly. To Luongo's left after the Vancouver timeout. Both coaches have spent theirs tonight, and Beverly wins it, but cleanly and past Dillon to center, allowing the Canucks a chance to change. Fiddler relayed it in. Luongo setting it up for Bieksa. He'll snap it off the boards, and another icing against Vancouver. Well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like a fighter that gets their arms weary from punching. They punched hard in that second period. They've really backed off here in the third period. Surprising. They're not getting much help from the throng here, I can tell you that.
No. Very quiet. Thought that power play goal would sort of get them all going here. Robidoux center trying to hold off Daniel Sedin. Chiasson and joins the battle. There's 6 of them at center ice. Cody Eakin finds it finally. Dillon and Eakin. Dallas has a very young nucleus. Chiasson pummeled by Alex Edler. Deep to Cole. Hopeful shot from the corner. Winds up on Burrow's stick, and here come the Canucks. Burrow's down the wing. Burrow slipping past Dillon, who recovers to poke check it away and then gets up to move it to the corner.
Brendan Dillon was going to change and then saw that rush coming and stayed with it. Made a terrific defensive play with the stick.
Cole got under Henrik Sedin, but Bieksa holds it at the line to Stanton. Bieksa, he can shoot it. He does, and it's blocked in front off Daly. Chiasson trying to get it out. Burrows keeping it in. Here's Stanton firing. And that's in Daly's gear. He kicked it back of the net. We got position on Henrik Sedin, but Burrows is coming, and he's overwhelmed. Now, all 3 of their forwards are behind the Dallas line. Dillon will plow his way to center ice. He wants that center stripe, and he got enough of it. Under 8 minutes to play in the third. Dallas hanging on 2-1 here in Vancouver. They're looking for their 6th straight road win and trying to go 3 for 3 on this Western Canadian swing. Nichushkin lost it. Santorelli. And Big Val's over there to try and get it back. Santorelli passes it deep to Booth. Kassian setting up in front of the net. Gonchar sticks with Booth along the boards. It's whipped around, and Jamie Benn tried to hack it past Tanev. Couldn't do it. Booth, back of the net. To Kassian. Delays, shot it, blocked, never got to the net. Hamhuis a drive. I think Sagan got in front of that. And he'll fluff one out into the Vancouver zone. Tanev passing ahead to Hamhuis. Missed the net entirely. Higgins, Santorelli. You got Morin chasing him. Dillon's back out here. Used the boards to get it ahead, then took a hit. Garbets down at the line. Morin can't get it out. Dillon passes off to Robidoux, now toward Roussel, but an icing call. No, Garbet's going to get there first, so they waive it. Morin shot it back of the net. 6.5 left in the third. Vancouver in their own zone. Hamhuis. Garbett all over him. He'll drop it back. Up comes Kessler. Weaving his way across against Roussel. Trying to get by Daly to the net. Save Lettinen. At the boards, it's Garrison to Kessler. A shot. That's blocked by Fiddler. And Fiddler battles, took the hit, but got it out. Beverly with Garrison to beat. Beverly down the wing, and the spinorama backhander is fought off by Luongo. Hansen trying to get across. Goligoski makes the play with his stick, and now the battle again at center ice.
More of that good gap control. Two things, the Stars defense with great gap these last couple of shifts, and big blocks, big time blocks in their own zone.
Canucks throw it away at the Dallas line. Daly shoots it in. Both teams change. And that's Daniel Sedin at center. Jordy Benn into the corner, but right to Daniel Sedin. Gonchar working him over with the stick. Daniel Sedin with the puck along the boards, and that's off a stick and out of play. The faceoff stays in the Dallas zone with 5:20 to play in the third period. Can the Stars hang on in Vancouver? They're up 2-1 over the Canucks.
Game summary here in Vancouver. The Stars looking for win number 6 in a row on the road. The franchise record, I believe, is 8. Said only a couple of years ago, which is stunning, isn't it? Considering. Nichushkin, his second career goal, scored his first when we were in Ottawa on the road. Someday he'll score in Dallas. And Kari Lettinen, 37 saves. He has a record of 29-2 when facing 35 or more shots. So this is right in his wheelhouse so far tonight. He's gotten some help here in the third period with guys making saves in front of him. But, I mean, they could be facing a 5-2 deficit right now easily just from that second period.
This is his 12th consecutive appearance coming off the injury. He's 7-2-2 in the 11 games. Face off to his right. Stars win it. Goligoski rips it around the boards. Cole occupying Bieksa. The puck slips into Vancouver ice. Daniel Sedin back to his brother, the captain, who has the lone Vancouver goal. Prowling through center ice. Shot it ahead. Daniel got tied up with the linesman. Henrik barreling in with Trevor Daly. Battle again along the boards, and Eakin wrestles it free and clears.
You watch Daly and Goligoski against the Sedins, the shades of Zubov and Sidor way back in the day, huh? They want you to come and bump and chase them. Play off of them.
Recipe for success. Bieksa back of his net. 4.5 left in the third period. Stars have the Sagan line out. Kessler at center. Moves it over. Santorelli using his speed. Backhander. Lettinen makes the stop. Nichushkin bumps the puck over to Robidas. Gives it back to Val Nichushkin. Barreling into the Vancouver zone. But Hamhuis came up to make the stop. And here comes Kessler into the Dallas zone. For Santorelli, a shot. Lettinen snares it. Canucks' 40th shot of the game with 4:05 to play in the third period. 2-1 Dallas in Vancouver. We'll finish it up next.
Well, here is tonight's Tuwaka shot of the game. The guy with perhaps the best lip sweater on the team right now. Eric Cole on a wonderful feed from Cody Eakin. The Stars bench explodes. That made it 2-0 early in the third period. Knew what he was doing on that. There it is.
Lip sweater, he said.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Lip sweater.
He's played a good game tonight all around. I think
Yes.
along the boards. Obviously, he has the goal that is the difference in the hockey game. As of right now, still a lot of time left, though. Just a shade over 4 minutes to go in regulation. Hey, the other end has stopped more shots than a Mormon at an Irish wake. Speaking of shots.
Sort of continuing the theme for the week. Face off to Kari Lettinen's right. 4:05 to play. Beverly defeating Kessler. Jordy Benn rounds his net. Snapped it out to Fiddler. Trying to work it against Edler. Fiddler dropped his shoulder and went to the net and then became impaled on it. He got a little bit of help, I think.
I don't know what's happened to Alex Edler. When he first started in this league, I thought he was going to be an all-star stud. Fiddler takes the outside corner on him, and he gives it to him. Brazen trot by Fiddler to the net. Look at him. Gave him the lane to go toward the net. Fiddler had the puck slip off the end of his stick, and then the damage was on the net. That was a penalty on Garbutt earlier. Same pipe. Boy, guys have gone hard to the net here tonight. Speaking of guys with a pretty good mustache, he's in that club too. Midway through Movember. It's been a winning month for the Stars. Maybe they should keep these things.
I was going to say, they keep this up, they will. Eakin jammed off Henrik Sedin, allowing Jordy Ben to get to the puck and shoot it in. Under 4 minutes to play in the third. Stars 2, Vancouver 1. Here's Daniel Sedin. Shot it. Lettinen made the save. The rebound is loose. Cole got there to grab it and then takes the pass from Chiasson to the Vancouver line. That was a heady play. Cole rumbling to the net, and he goes hard too. Attempted to pull up and banged into Luongo.
That's how the game started tonight, and it hasn't really stopped all that much since. Turn a corner, drive the net. Luongo trying to lobby for something on this one. 2 in a row have come crashing into him. First Fiddler, and this time Cole. Boy, that is vintage Eric Cole. When he was young, prior to a lot of the injuries that have at least slowed him a little bit, that was almost an every shift occurrence. Turn that corner to the net, put the puck past the guy at the end of the ring.
Ryan Garbutt out here now with Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin.
Nichushkin's turned the puck over too much. He scored in the game, that's great, but he hasn't been very good with the puck in his own zone and at the attack blue line. Kent?
Daly shot at Ben, tipped it, I think, and Luongo, I know, made the save.
Just can't put up with that in a tight game like this and on the road. So I think having a little more sure-handed defensive posture on that line, one goal game late.
Trying to nurse this baby home. 3:15 to play in the third period. Seguin and Brad Richardson. Luongo's left. Richardson wins it. Garbutt fell. Bieksa smacks it around. Kessler looking for some room at center. Jamie Benn impeded the pass that gets through to Edler. Trevor Daly spies him. Ben tipped it out of the zone. Bieksa turns it over to Daly at center ice, and he'll make the safe, smart play to get it deep. Dallas will change up. Shots are 42-23 Vancouver, but Dallas leads the game 2-1. Eric Cole's goal in the third has provided the difference so far. Bieksa fires it in. Robidas protecting it in the corner with Booth on his back. Brendan Dillon got it off, and Fiddler clears.
Well, that was a good play. Kassian was waiting for that reverse in behind the Stars net.
Now Fiddler got his skates together. Puck comes past him. Hamhuis out to center ice. Fiddler tracked it down. Helped make the play at the Dallas line. Dillon tosses it out. Hamhuis up ahead, and Kassian uncleanly with it. Robidas goes around behind. Gonchar up. Horcoff tips it, but right to the middle to Hansen, who swung and missed the net. Horcoff. Gonchar has the puck. Kassian in pressuring. Gonchar up the boards with it. Goes off Cole, so there's no icing, and Eakin's going to beat Hamhuis to it, who was anticipating an icing call. Chiasson toward the net, save Luongo.
This line's been really good and better as the game's moved along tonight.
1:35 remaining. Stars up by a goal. Burrow shoots it in, and there goes Luongo. Seguin's along the boards. Henrik Sedin back of the net. Tried to go out the far side, and the Stars clear. It rolls on edge back into the Vancouver end. Here's Edler. That hits Cole at center ice. Seguin tossing it right back over. You see the empty net in the Vancouver zone as the puck rims the boards out to center ice. Seguin handing it back to Goligoski in full possession. And Burrows picked it off at the line. Ben nudged it but didn't get it out. Garbutt has his man. Here's Edler from the line. Henrik Sedin tied up. Daniel trying to find it. Ben took it from Daly, and he'll ease it off the boards. Bieksa beating Garbutt to the puck, slinging it out toward Kessler. 44 seconds remaining in the third. Ben turned it over to Garbutt, who couldn't make the play at the line. Canucks trying to get it across. Seguin hustling back, gives it to Robidas. He'll knock it off the glass, and Edler tried to buy an icing call here, but a whistle. Maybe he got it.
Wow.
Wow.
Neither coach has their timeout left. Luongo will remain on the bench. They'll have to run it on the fly here. How are you if you're the Canucks? I mean, they've gone 3 straight games scoring just a single goal. Lots of shots, but not the result here again tonight, which has kind of plagued them the last little while. They got 30 seconds left.
Jamie Benn will take this draw with Henrik Sedin. Ben is 4 of 6 in the circle tonight.
Garrison out here, number 5 with that big gun. Robidas and Burrows are at one another along the board, so a little extra pseudo timeout here. Sedin's talking things over. They got 30 seconds left in them. 2 more saves out of Big Kari.
And we'll pack this thing up and bring it home. Henrik Sedin, Jamie Benn. Captains oppose each other for the all-important draw with 30 seconds remaining. In the star zone to Kari Lettinen's right, and Burrows and Robidas continue to peck away at each other with the sticks. And Galloway trying to get him squared up here, and
boy, Jamie Benn wanted to win that. He had his stick just vibrating in there. Now Peverley comes in, maybe trying to get Henrik kicked out.
Beverly wins it straight to the corner. Daly tied up there. Daniel Sedin trying to spin away. Beverly's clearing it to him, goes to Ben, and he'll angle it off the boards and out. 20 seconds left in the game. Henrik Sedin turned his skates and then knocks it over the line. Here's Daniel. Threw it in front. Lettinen made the stop. Seguin trying to clear. He can't. Off the pile. It's loose in front of the net. Henrik Sedin stopped by Kari Lettinen. Big pile up behind the line with 5 seconds remaining and a whistle, and this continues on. There's a melee. Seguin's in the middle of it, back of the net with Kessler.
There was going to be a penalty originally, and pretty sure it's going to be to Dallas on the tail end of all that. The 2 Canuck defensemen have stayed out of this. Kessler's at the bottom of the rabid alley cat fracas in behind the net. Hamhuis and Garrison stay out there so that if there is a face-off, it's not going to come outside the line. So 2 stops from Lettinen. Boy, a big one with the trailing leg on Sedin in tight. There. And then that mad scramble battle in behind the net. Pays to be long sometimes. Boy, that, oh man. Man, oh man. Has he been good? Burrows with a cross-check is the call not on Dallas, so moot point with those defensemen staying out. The frustrations continue for the Canucks. This, for all intent and purpose, just salts it away. Lindy Ruff with a shot to the arm on Nichushkin on the Stars bench. 5 seconds of business and then load it up and head back home. And Tom Gaglardi goes to 3-0, having the boys over for dinner.
He'll have to travel that thing. Dallas Stars sweep in Western Canada. They win their 6th straight on the road. And Kari Lettinen again. Superb.
Well, there are wins, there are team wins, there are, the last game it was a duo win, if you will, with Seguin and Benn. This is a goalie win tonight. Outshot 43-23, gave up 20 shots in the middle frame and win it 2-1 in Vancouver. He wins the duel with Roberto Luongo.